Welcome to the Julie Laughton Living Podcast, the place to get advice, tips, and tricks to building the life and luxury home of your dreams with 30-year business owner, designer, and builder, Julie Laughton. It all starts with a good plan. This is Julie Laughton Living.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Julie Laughton Living Podcast. This week, we're going to talk about what do you need to select to complete your custom home? What are those materials you need to select? What's that list? And then don't forget to check out my 7 simple steps to a 5-star experience on my website, julielaughton.com. And follow me on social media, and my links will be listed below. So when you go to do your custom home, you typically work with an architect who draws all the plans, and then he lays everything out and kind of comes up with the whole concept of what the house looks like, right? And then the house might have stucco on it and maybe a tile roof or all that good stuff. But then what happens is the actual selections happen with the designer or the interior designer. So there's basically 7 things you have to select. And those 7 things are the doors and the windows, the doorknobs, then the cabinets, the cabinet style, and then the countertop, and then the flooring, and then the tile for the bathroom floor, the tile for the shower walls. And then last but not least, I include window coverings because I don't go all the way into interior design. I just kind of stop at window coverings. But those are the things you need to select immediately before the plans are done, because that's the part of everything that I call it, all the stuff that's screwed and glued to the walls. So that's what you're selecting when you start to customize your home and your materials. So basically the selections are made after the space plan and the floor plan are done. So on the other podcast, I was talking about space planning, which is kind of the bones of the house. So once you have the space plan done and you know what the house is going to look like, let's say you have a black and white piece of paper, just black and white. Then the selections are made, and then that floor plan and those elevations become colorized. Then you see what it's going to look like in color. So they're made. That's the second step. Is after the plans are drawn and the engineering gets started, then you work on the materials. Well, the selection process starts with, again, those photographs. The homeowner shows me photographs of what they like, and we go through this process of what do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? What's your maintenance requirements? Because some people want easy maintenance, so I select different materials, and I'll use maybe a man-made material instead of a natural stone because, marbles are hard to care for, and you can get silestone or Caesar stone that looks like marble. So that's much easier to maintain. So we go through that kind of like, how elegant do we want it? What kind of maintenance do you want to do? But it all boils down to the look and the feel and the style. Again, it's like an outfit, picking on an outfit. Your home's like a finished style. And I, of course, am known for the timeless style. So I don't like to do anything trendy or too much color, but more organic and timeless. And everything has a theme or a history of architecture. There's some, it signals something, a style. So what's funny about the process, because people kind of, first of all, half of the people actually don't know what they want and they can't figure it out, but they know what they don't like. So that's kind of fun, but it's challenging because they can't tell you what they like, but they know what they don't like. So I kind of go through this flashcard thing where I'll show them pictures and then I'll narrow it down to what they like versus what they don't like. And that's a great starting point. But then there's other people that come to me and know exactly what they want, down to maybe the materials too. I mean, they literally know everything they want, and all I got to do is assemble it. But in the majority of the cases, people come to me and they think they know what they want, but then I explain to them that this is going to create this look. This is going to create this maintenance. This is going to really knock it out of the park if you do it this way with this material. So eventually they actually follow along with what I'm saying, but I'm pulling what they like and don't like all along the way. So it's kind of interesting because they don't know how to do what we do as designers. They just know what they want and they need that guidance to get them to the finish line. So they can't, they know what they kind of want, but they can't get to the finish line because they don't know how to do the process. They really don't, because the process is design, style, function, and all those things combined together with some space planning and picking the materials to create that look that's customized for them is a lot of work. and not a secret sauce, but it's called professional design experience. We're trained to do this. So it's like going to the doctor and having your head examined. You're going to have your house examined. And all that means is you pull everything out and organize it. So when you go to talk to a therapist, what you do is you take all your thoughts and organize them. That's all it really is. You're organizing what is this and why is that. It's an organization process and putting everything in the right place. So I always joke with my clients, I'm the house therapist. I'm going to figure out what makes your house function better by talking to you and listening to what the house says, meaning listening because I'm looking at the floor plan. This floor plan doesn't work. I need to fix it. And fixing it means moving walls. So yeah, that's what it is. Because the house has a style that comes that way. And then we change it to match the new homeowner. So it's a wonderful process. The selections of the materials are probably, they're very important to the budget because in general, materials aren't expensive. You just stay in normal ranges. Like marbles are marbles, synthetic are synthetic prices. So those two prices don't vary that much, but there are marbles that are $10,000 a slab. So that changes the budget. The Carrera Calcutta Gold slabs, they're $10,000 a slab. So it's like a little 5 foot by 7 foot by 10 foot, not even slice of marble is $10,000, and where you can get the same thing in porcelain for $1,500. It's a lookalike, but no maintenance. So it depends on how much you really need to have marble and want the real marble, but you can get the same look in a man-made product these days, which is less maintenance too. So it's important. If you want to stay on budget, there's options is my point, but it's important to be careful because you don't want to blow your budget just because one material. When I do projects and people are telling me about their budget and what they want and what they don't want, and then all of a sudden we get this budget number down, and then they say, well, I want to buy my appliances direct. And then they tell me they're going to buy a $30,000 La Crunau range, which is more than most people's cars. Then it kind of blows my mind because then I realize they got to have this range because they got to have this image. I mean, it's like an ego thing, but maybe they just want the best range built, out there. But it's when you pay $30,000 for a stove, when you could get one for $2,500 or $8,000, woof, anyway, it shows me something and tells me something. So they may or may not be designing the kitchen for them exclusively. It might be a status symbol. It might be something they have to have because they've always wanted something like there's people that just always want a Ferrari. They always wanted a Bentley. They always want a Range Rover. Whether they can afford it or not is another thing. But when I have clients that tell me they're on a budget and then they do things like that, it's funny to me, but it happens. So I just like to go with the quality products if someone's going to recommend something to me, have me select for them. I start with quality, Sub-Zero and Woof and all that good stuff. And then because we want it to last and function best. But when they throw things at me, like I want, imported stuff, then we just manage the budget that way. But it's funny because that's a different kind of, it's not so much function. It's more of an ego, or I just have to have this for some reason. I can't explain it, but it's, and it's a great look. I mean, my God, it's gorgeous. It cracks me up because when they mix the word budget with $30,000 stove, it cracks me up. So that's all I can say, but I love to do those. They're a great look, but makes me laugh. So remember, when you're completing your custom home, you're going to have to make approximately 7 decisions on everything that's screwed and glued to the walls, which is the windows and the doors and the doorknobs, the cabinets, the countertops, the floors, and the window coverings. And then you pretty much are ahead of the game once you get that part done. Thank you for joining me again on the Julie Laughton Living podcast, and we'll see you next week. And I can't wait to share more stories and tips. Don't forget to check out my 7 simple steps on my website. Just click the link and take the free course, and hope you enjoy it. See you next week.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Julie Laughton Living. For more information or to connect with Julie one-on-one, visit julielaughtonliving.com. And don't forget, it all starts with a good plan.